the process of finding someone for a role or finding my next role is very similar to dating. And at the end of the day, the less asymmetry of information, the better. If I'm going to decide on who I'm going to partner with or marry, I want to know as much as I can about them, and they want to know the same about me, so I can make a really informed decision. That's probably the other area of opportunity, where most of our team will often say, gee, I wish we could take this science into dating because it's such a critical life decision. And in the hiring space, there's such asymmetry of information. You're expected to go and trawl through a career site to figure out whether or not it's the right place for you. Very hard to get insight into the manager and the team and the culture, really, unless you go to Glassdoor, and even that's going to be fairly deficient.
Yep.
And you get to see a resume, which, as we all know, is a pretty poor substitute for really understanding who someone is. So there's just an absolute paucity of data when it comes to making the decision on both sides. And so we really wanted to change that, but also create the equity that respects that both parties are owning this decision. It's not just a one-way decision.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I like the dating analogy a lot. It makes a lot of sense to me because ultimately you are looking for hopefully a relatively long-term, commitment, and you're looking for, a win-win kind of situations. I was already married by the time any of these dating apps, came out, but it just seemed
Yeah.
like people complaining about, an eHarmony, more thorough sort of evaluation or whatever it is that you do when you sign up. People complaining about the time that it takes to do that. And it's like, well, look at the potential outcome. If you're just looking to go and spend the night with someone, there's other apps for that. But we're talking about, your career, your professional development, important relationships that are gonna, help you sort of grow as a
Yeah.
person and as a leader. And so
Yeah.
it just seems like yes, the juice is worth the squeeze, as they say.
Yeah. I think the other thing that we really wanted to challenge was this very strong bias we have as humans that I need to see you to hire you. And obviously in the dating world, we get that, right? That chemistry is really important and it comes from that physical connection. But in the working world, that doesn't really matter. You're not looking for that kind of chemistry. And the reality of the way we hire today and the tools like video it just creates bias. It really just, I think, video productizes bias because we all know that humans are biased. We're mostly unconscious of those biases. And so we will form immediate opinions about someone based on the way they look. I'm sure that happens on LinkedIn in terms of who people choose to go and engage with from a sourcing perspective. So we also wanted to challenge that and say, why does it matter what I look like? Now, maybe if you're hiring me to go and represent Tiffany's in that store, I need to look a certain way. But for most roles, it's irrelevant what you look like, but yet we are still so highly tuned to, I need to see you to hire you. Because I think it's not just about social equity and opportunity, it's really about missing out on talent. And to think that what someone looks like is going to in any way correlate with how they perform in the role is kind of a delusion that we humans hold. And so if you can remove that, it challenges your bias, but it opens up a much bigger world of opportunity. And we always want more volume coming in because more volume underwrites more diversity and typically a better quality pool to choose from.